This isn't my usual setup. Hey everyone, Brobuscus here, and welcome back to another Let's Watch of Death Battle. This time we got Harley Quinn versus Jinx. It's season premiere, season 9. It's been far too long. Okay, actually before I talk about all this, obviously there should be a link in the description below. You can go watch the actual episode itself, support the official release, and then come back to watch a reaction video. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing right now. This is a little weird. So, I guess I gotta explain this. So, you may know if you follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. My computer right now, you know, actually, here, play the clip. Yeah, it's not really doing so hot right now. So at the moment, I'm kind of left with doing something like this. Let me even show you. Like, I'm using my phone to record. This is my setup right now. I have my phone set up right here on a shoebox. I guess you gotta do what you can. Gosh. Anyway, so right now my computer is immobile. Like, it is, like, I can't do anything with it. So until we get that fixed, this is all I got. So I apologize for the sound. I know it's kind of an echo chamber in here. I don't even know how it sounds on camera. I know it kind of sounds like an echo chamber in here. Just kind of have to deal with it until I can get things sorted. So actually, before I even get into the episode itself, I have to give a big, massive shout out to my buddy Z-Dog, who is helping me out with this, who is gonna edit these for the time being until I get things sorted, and I'm hoping and praying that it is just for this episode. So here's hoping. So right now I'm literally watching the episode via the Rooster Teeth app on my Xbox One. So that's fun. So there might be a bit of like sound echo. There might be some like something weird going on. My speakers aren't the greatest. They work, but they're not the greatest. So there might be some audio cue I miss out on. So if I mention like, if I say something like maybe there, like maybe along the lines of like there seems to be some sound balancing issues. That's probably not the episode. It's probably just my TV. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, so yeah, now that I've got that out of the way, hopefully you guys understand. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So how do I know these characters? We got Harley Quinn from DC Comics versus Jinx from League of Legends. So Harley, never really been a big fan. Never really was a big fan of Harley Quinn. I've never really been a big fan of that kind of like character trope, like your Harleys, your Neos, your Togas, the crazy girl like type of character, you know? I'm never really a big fan of that like type of character. And Harley, well, probably not my least favorite as far as that's concerned. She's definitely the most popular. And she has quite a bit of overexposure at the moment, which I know like that's kind of like par for the course for Batman characters, like Batman himself, Joker, Harley. But in particular, like right now, I kind of blame like Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, especially for that kind of overexposure to Harley. Maybe it existed before that, but from my perspective, it started there. But even then, like, I have a little bit of experience with Harley. Like I've played both Injustice games. She was not cool, but she was not annoying either in those games. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I saw a few DC animated universe stuff. Like I saw both Justice League cartoons. I saw Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. So there's that. I haven't seen Batman the Animated Series, actually. I know there's also the Harley Quinn TV series. I haven't watched that either. Probably never will watch it because it looks kind of dumb. I know my buddy Richard is going to absolutely hate me for that, but that do be how it is. So yeah. So yeah, I never really liked Harley Quinn. I just think she's kind of an annoying character. Yeah, I don't really know much more I can say on that matter. Now as for Jinx, so I've never played League of Legends, and judging from everything I know about the game, I probably never will play League of Legends. It just does not seem like that interesting of a game to me. Like, it just doesn't feel like my kind of game. If that's your thing, don't let me stop you. Don't let anybody stop you. If you like League of Legends, then by golly, play League of Legends, you know? But it just doesn't seem like my kind of thing. However, I have seen Arcane. In the lead up to this episode, I took the time to actually binge watch Arcane to get a handle on Jinx as a character. And holy crap, this show is nuts. I love Arcane. It's short. It's only 9 episodes long. It does more plot building and world building than character building. So that, like, I don't know, like, I feel like the characters in Arcane is one of those examples where it's like, I'm interested, they've clicked with me, but right now I'm not super into it. Does that make sense? I'm trying to make, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just kind of, I'm going along with it, you know? I'm just coming up with this as I go. So the animation's really nice. The voice acting is superb. The plot is really interesting. The characters are really interesting. Like it's one of those things where it's like I'm curious to see where they go. At the moment, they're just there, but I'm interested. I'm very interested to see where it goes. I'm really excited for Arcane Season 2. You know, when that comes out in like 2026 or something, I don't know. I mean, Season 1 took like 6 years to make, but I don't blame it. Judging from the animation, that's like, yeah. So yeah. So right now, I'm not super big into Jinx, but I'm interested to see where the story goes. I don't know if it picks up anywhere in League of Legends. I don't know. Or maybe this episode will convince me on both fronts, really, that like, oh, you know, they're actually not that bad characters. That's what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed. But at the moment, so now that I got that out of the way, so who do I want to win and who do I think is going to win? Well, right now, I think I want Jinx to win. And no, it's not because, oh, hey, look, a DC character will finally lose to a non-Marvel character. No, because I actually don't care about that at all. The whole DC win streak, whether it was against Marvel or not, never really bothered me. Like, I was like, every time I saw someone complain about that, it was always like, wow, you are scraping the bottom of the barrel of complaints, aren't you? So maybe that's just me, but I never really cared about the DC win streak. Nor did I really care about the fact that they have yet to lose to a non-Marvel character. I'm rooting for Jinx because I actually don't dislike her like I do Harley Quinn. So, yeah. So, I don't know if Z-Dog's gonna do the whole, you know, the text thing I did before. But if he does, there you go. I'm rooting for Jinx. I want Jinx to win. Now, who do I think is going to win? Well, that is the question, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm gonna be up front. I have no idea. So if you've seen the podcasts that I do, you'll probably know that in those I was very, very much confident in Harley winning because I felt that she was faster and she has Joker Venom. which worked on the Justice League. So like, that's kind of a GG's, isn't it? Well, apparently, so Jinx, by all accounts, is more destructive, more powerful. Like, I think the gap in power is wider than the gap in speed. I will give credit. Jinx is definitely a lot faster than I was expecting. Like, the gap in speed isn't as wide as I thought it was. So, you know, it's not like Blitz territory, you know? So, really what's getting to me right now is either option A, Harley, like, Jinx is able to keep up and just get in a good hit in with her weapons, and that will be it. Or, alternatively, Harley is able to outpace her, even if slightly, and get the Joker Venom in and win. Because, yeah, like, I've heard arguments that, like, because Jinx is infected with Shimmer, which not only increases your strength and speed, but also gives you, but also, like, has some sort of, like, gives you some sort of resistance to toxins. Because Silco had, like, some, like, toxic thing in his eye that he would inject Shimmer with on a regular basis. But that's kind of what's bothering me, is that was a regular basis thing. And yeah, Jinx has been injected with it in her entire body, but does it really grant you that much of a toxin resistance to, like, completely resist any toxins? And even then, Joker Venom worked on the Justice League. It worked on Superman. It worked on Wonder Woman. Like, I feel like there's a bit of, you have to, like, to me at least, and it's possible the episode would be like, no, that's actually not the case at all. And if that's the case, then alright, Jinx just wins. But the Joker Venom, like, I feel like you have to compare, like, how good the gases are in Arcane and in League of Legends, and compare that to the deadliness of Joker Venom. Because if the Joker Venom was able to work on people like Superman, then some, like, basic form of toxic resistance doesn't apply, I feel, right? Maybe I'm just completely out of my mind. Maybe there's something about this that I'm completely overlooking, and that's 100% possible. But at the moment, obviously the analysis will have an effect on me, but right now, as of the pre-fight analysis, I am siding with Harley, but I'm going to keep an open mind. Also, like, Silco's assistant, whose name I forget, who, like, hated Jinx in Arcane, was injected with Shimmer as well, was she not? And she was put under by a sleeping gas. And Jinx would have been under too, but she had a gas mask. And I don't think the gas mask is going to come up because she used that once. And that's another thing. I know she wasn't really, like, infected that much with Shimmer at the time, but if Shimmer granted you that much of a like a toxic resistance, like a toxin resistance, my bad, why would she need the gas mask? I don't know. I'm starting with Harley right now. It's definitely a lot closer than I gave it credit for to start, but at the moment, I'm sticking with Harley. I know Jinx is the common consensus, and hopefully this episode will let me see why. But at the moment, I'm sticking with Harley. So, enough chit-chat. I've been waiting too long for this. It is like an hour. Like, an hour has passed since this episode came out. Let's actually watch it. Okay. 3, 2, 1, play. Hold on. Wait, no, hold on. Restart. Play. Okay, so we're still doing this. All right.
Jinx, the loose cannon of League of Legends. We live in a society that adheres to strict laws and norms, but these two ladies turn that system on its head with their wild enthusiasm for destruction and chaos. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick, and it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Let's see what's up.
Born to a middle-class family in the heart of Brooklyn, USA, Harley Quinn had long lived a life of mediocrity. She had embarrassing parents, annoying siblings, and a high school life that sucked. Even more than, like, the normal ones. She never quite...
I was about to say, this sounds kind of like a normal life to me.
Despite this, Harley knew she was destined for greatness. So, inspired by a childhood crush turned psychotic murderer, Harley spent years training to be a world-renowned criminal psychiatrist, eventually traveling to Gotham City's infamous Arkham Asylum to research the most dangerous criminals on the planet, like Batman's arch-nemesis, the Joker. But after analyzing the Joker and his horrific, unspeakable history as a homicidal clown and Jared Leto, she came to realize one truth. The Joker was actually a misunderstood angel.
Loves Red Tool and plays another Deadpool.
And wrongfully harassed by that son of a bitch Batman. This was the first of the Joker's many manipulations, leading Harleen to see a warped reflection of herself through him, culminating in her breaking him out of prison, bleaching her skin via chemical baptism, and joining him on his life of crime, descending into love like madness and reborn as the fantastic Harley Quinn. And she was packing plenty of tools of maniacal mayhem, including her iconic hammer, electric buzzers, and bombs of all shapes and sizes, like the dreaded banana cream pie, the most evil of all pie flavors.
There's a regular show clip. Is that foreshadowing? We'll see.
She straps rockets to. That doesn't seem safe.
No, it doesn't. Hi, Ringmaster.
A rotating revolver with special.
Where's Wiz?
Like a boxing glove. Whoa!
Close one.
And binding confetti. And did I mention explosive rounds? Which...
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. There he was. I'm fine.
I'm gonna go.
Harley combines her arsenal
All right.
with parallel gymnastic skills, making her far deadlier than...
I didn't expect to see Ringmaster this episode. I guess since Billy's directing it, it makes sense.
Even Batman at times. The peak human superhero that can dodge lightning and survive this alien device exploding, which obliterated multiple city blocks. Yeah, I think that's stretching the term peak human just a bit. But hey,
Just a little bit.
Batman, so we'll allow it. Unfortunately for Harley, despite her unwavering loyalty to the Joker, their honeymoon period did not last. He spent years abusing her, physically.
I like how even Batman flinches
tearing
at that.
her down piece by piece. Then, when he got bored, he strapped her to a friggin' rocket and launched her halfway across Gotham City. Guess that's one way to say, no, it's not you, it's me. Bye. Harley was left alone in the wreckage.
Joker Venom. There we go.
One person she
I forgot she has mind control poison. I forgot about that.
Until fellow villain Poison Ivy came by. She nursed Harley back to health, literally healing her from a damaged relationship. Ivy even gave Harley a chemical concoction that granted her superhuman strength and a healing factor. I suppose a healthy relationship can sometimes feel like your own superpower in and of itself. Yeah, and those two definitely seem like very good friends.
Very good friend.
With Ivy at her side, Harley went on to rebuild herself as a famous anti-hero, leading teams like the Gotham Sirens and Suicide Squad. She worked on developing new skills, built around her own strength rather than that of her past. Like learning to use her lifelong knowledge of psychoanalysis to manipulate her foes mid-combat. And creating tons of her own chemical concoctions, like tranquilizers and sleeping gases that can incapacitate metahumans. She even reverse-engineered her former flame's trademark Joker Venom. This deadly substance excites the laughter centers in a person's brain and forces them to laugh until they suffocate. Harley was clearly on top of the world, but nothing caps off self-improvement like a Rocky Balboa training montage. So Harley went to the places to get a combat internship with the Amazons, just like her favoriteest superhero, Wonder Woman. And imagine going from bashing random goons in Gotham to fighting alongside immortal warrior goddesses. She became agile enough to jump between skyscrapers and strong enough to rip an entire palm tree out of the ground with her bare hands. Jinx. Based on the size of the tree and the weight of an average palm by foot, that weighs about 600 pounds. And she can hold it one-handed, so her actual strength is probably at least twice as much.
Enough to lift a full
Not bad.
brown bear and throw it like a ragdoll. Hell, her skills advanced so far, she was appointed a herald on the War World Apocalypse. You know, the planet ruled by the living embodiment of evil. Even the actual personification of the DC editorial staff likes to call her in to help with tough jams.
As the years went
Oh
on,
yeah,
Harley
she like
realized
had
that
fourth
literally
wall breaking or
everyone
something.
by transitioning from supervillain to superhero. She partnered up with other heroes, became a psychiatrist again, and legitimately started helping other vigilantes with trauma, like Jason Todd, who definitely needed that.
Yeah.
The family she used to antagonize and ridicule eventually accepted her as kind of an extended member of their group, teaming up with her to save Gotham from her toxic ex. Good for her. Guess we're not going to talk about when she went back to the Joker a couple times, huh?
In
Nope,
the end,
we're not gonna talk about
a
that.
little nutty, but you'd be mad not to love Harley Quinn.
No end of
The
analysis.
world of
thing?
Runeterra is a wondrous fantasy land of advanced technology, arcane magics, and legendary
Ha,
champions.
arcane.
But on its northern shores are two cities locked in political turmoil. For decades, Piltover's rich elite have exploited the undercity of Zaun, forcing workers into unsafe conditions and brutalizing the populace with terrifying police enforcers.
New Jersey. You could have just said New Jersey.
Until one day,
The Undercity has it really rough.
would literally explode onto the scene. She gave those uptight topsiders a taste of their own medicine, menacing its people with bombs, gunfire, and even more bombs. This was Jinx.
Jinx destroyed Zeppelins, Jumanji'd the shit out of the local zoo, and switched the street signs. What a monster! Now those monkeys will never find their way back.
Only the
Oh, no.
Violet could hope to stop her. But even armed with massive gauntlets weighing over 4,000 pounds each, Vi could not
Jeez.
definitively overcome Jinx's magnificent arsenal of mechanical monstrosities.
Man, they're so evenly matched. It's almost like they're related. Anyway, Jinx can burst open birds with her trusty Zapper Shock pistol, turn enemies to Swiss cheese with her Pow Pow minigun, and blow bad guys to bits with her Flame Chomper grenades.
But Jinx's favorite weapon is her Fishbones rocket launcher. So much so, she rides it like a rocket-powered pogo stick. Well, that's
Because why not?
even less safe.
Well, don't let her manic attitude fool you. Not only is Jinx tough enough to take a hit from Brom, the guy who can shake mountains with a punch, but she's wicked smart. Almost all her gear is custom made. She's even recreated Hex Tech, funky science powered by magic crystals. Ooh.
Including her handheld teleportation device. Oh, my bad. Is that League of Legends? What a coincidence.
Oh no.
Are you talking about League of Legends over there? I love that game! I've got in more than 10,000 hours just in our college days, huh, buddy? League of
Oops.
Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena game forged in the flames of
Ringmaster's getting a little more involved here.
gamer tears. Oh. And as any professional will tell you, to play the game well, you need to min-max your character's loadout with the best possible items.
Yeah,
Okay,
worst
I know.
mistake
I think I like how
being
this is going.
new. God, it's the midterms all over again. No, Boomstick, stay in your lane. What are you doing in the jungle? Stop it, feeder.
Jinx's ideal loadouts include Phantom Dancer, so she can phase through objects after landing a blow.
I'd like to phase out of this conversation.
Then there's the Quicksilver Slash, which protects her from status effects like sleep, paralysis, and poison. This includes forced actions, which make you do things you don't want to do. Hey, Boom! You want to pop into a match with your old Teemo from back in the day? I can set it up right now.
How about we move on to arcade before I ram my foot up your ass?
Aww.
So, there's more to Jinx than what the main games depict. From this tomfoolery, most people around Zaun knew her as an innocent young tinkerer named Powder.
Like pretty much everyone in the Undercity, Powder had it rough. She lost her
Yeah.
parents in a conflict with enforcers, but had a bit of luck when she joined this cool foster family along with Vi, who was, gasp, her sister all along. If you're wondering what put soap in their opera, Vi was a total badass, and Powder
Yeah.
was desperate to also prove herself to her newfound family. And then she made a mistake.
Seemingly abandoned, Powder was left in the hands of the most notorious drug kingpin around. Silco was not the father she needed, but the one she wanted, teaching her to turn her perceived weaknesses into her greatest strengths. Thus, she became Jinx.
Even when the sisters reunited years later, they couldn't fully reconcile, setting up the game of cat and mouse in the game.
Jinx was an excellent rival, able to keep up with other skilled warriors like the bullet-dodging Echo, and survive the worst of Zaun's toxic environments, which can kill normal people in minutes. After a near-fatal explosion, she was also infused with Shimmer, a toxic strength and speed-enhancing drug that permanently altered her body's biochemistry.
But Shimmer's side effects intensified her prior trauma, making her much more unhinged and prone to attacking with lethal intent.
Inspiring her ultimate weapon, the Super Mega Death Rocket! This baby's been powered by both Hextech and its even more volatile cousin, Chemtech.
That's even more explosive! Never got how much I appreciated the explodey options. Anyway, both Hextech and Chemtech are comparable in power to natural magic.
On par with what a badass mage like Lux is able to cast, such as Lucent Singularity, which can totally body these big old rocks.
Measuring their width with Lux's height, we can determine she destroyed almost 13,000 tons of rock from 30 meters away.
Promotional trailers show Mega Death Rocket matching the speed and power of Lux's Final Spark, a much more powerful attack that fires a Kamehameha of natural light.
So her rocket is not only super strong, but super fast. From powder to gunpowder, Silco couldn't be prouder.
But her violent streak grew grim until the day she met a particularly explosive Yordle. Ziggs bonded with her over their mutual passion for destruction, but his was more tempered, controlled. Thanks to his wisdom, Jinx learned a little bit of restraint when it came to exploding things of a more fleshy nature.
Helping her tone down the wall of violence and recover some of her mental stability, like he's some kind of feline brand Jiminy Cricket.
And despite being on opposite sides of the bridge, Jinx and Vi remained sisters, ultimately still caring about each other in their own way, even if they were at odds more often than not.
Though you better believe that when things get boring and uptight, Jinx will be there to shake things up.
Where are those analysis clips?
All right, the combatants are set. You've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
And pause. Pause. Okay, there we go. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna check something real quick because it's been bothering me this entire time. We're good. Okay. All right, so taking all that in. Okay. I feel like they wouldn't mention... okay. I'm still torn. Okay, so... I feel like they wouldn't mention Jinx's resistance to toxins, like being in a toxic environment, if that wasn't going to come into factor. I don't know. Okay, so they mentioned Batman can dodge lightning, so that's cool. They didn't measure either of their big explosion feats. I mean, they've measured Batman's in the past, but they didn't mention any like big destruction numbers for Jinx. They also didn't mention Joker Venom working on the Justice League. But then they didn't do that for Joker either. And then they brought it up at in the post-fight analysis. I don't know. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick with Harley. For the sole reason of, so either Harley wins and my prediction was right, or Jinx wins and my preferred character wins. So I'm going with a bit of a cheaty route here, but whatever. It's my video. You can do whatever I want. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Harley, but I could definitely see how Jinx can win this. I guess I'll just have to wait and see. So let's stop wasting time and get right into it. 3, 2, 1, play. Bit of a delay in my play, but whatever. Oh, I didn't see the preview, by the way, obviously. forgot to mention that. I feel like Harley's definitely more level-headed than Jinx.
Exploding stuff. I like exploding stuff too. Why don't I start with your head?
I want this music to come out so soon. It is so good. That poor bird.
I'm trying to shoot you.
She's right behind you.
I love this scene. And preview ends here.
You're a real firecracker. Got a light? Oh, sure thing.
She has her hammer, I just realized. Oh! Ow! Ha! That was a pun. So silly. I do like the use of, what happened there? Alright, whatever. I like the use of the environment. Uh-oh. When did she get that? Ow. Wait a minute. Was that?
Well, that was unfortunate.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Soldier, too bad. To make up for it, I got you some nice perfume. Smells like...
Oh. Oh. Wonder what's going on here. Uh-oh. Oh! Oh, if that's the okay.
Wait! Don't you want to get in close and savor my emotions as you deliver the final kill?
Dark Knight reference.
Nah,
She did it!
Don't just stand there, Jinx. You just want a free teddy bear. What if it's Timbers?
This was a complicated fight.
Oh, hey, they're bringing back the results screen.
Harley
Nice.
had more direct combat experience against superpowered beings, along with better training.
But Jinx's physical power, diabolical weaponry, and assortment of items were just enough to roast this Harlequin duck.
While Harley lifting over 1,200 pounds is impressive, Jinx can compete with Vi, whose gauntlets weigh 8 times that in the game.
And Jinx can take hits from a guy who can shake mountains. Up and beyond Harley's level of strength.
Harley may have been more naturally acrobatic, but Jinx's hex tech and intangibility matched and outclassed that mobility. The teleporting tablet alone could control the entire fight, since Jinx could send herself or Harley just about anywhere.
And while Harley had a moderate healing factor, she's never regenerated entire body parts before. So a big
True.
enough kaboom would definitely kill her. And Jinx's weapons were strong enough to do just that. In order to destroy over 13,000 tons of rock from such a distance, Lux's magic explosion would need a yield of about 20 kilotons of TNT.
And Jinx's hex tech and chem tech are similar to Lux's magic in speed and power.
Even if we scale Harley's durability to Batman surviving this massive explosion, the potency of Jinx's weaponry outpaces it more than 300 times.
Sure, Harley is legitimately intelligent, but so is Jinx, as evidenced by her inventions
True.
and routinely outwitting Vi and her task force. Plus, Jinx is typically distrusting of people she's just met, so Harley's potential mind games were likely to fall on skeptical ears.
Jinx was much more likely to shoot first and ask questions later.
Now, Harley still had her wide array of poisons and chemical agents, like the Joker venom, which would kill most opponents in minutes. However, after living her whole life in the toxic cesspool of Zon, her tolerance for poisons is clearly much higher than a normal person. Not to mention the
I thought
Quicksilver
this
Sash
would
could
come
simply
back.
end any unwanted effect on her. Ultimately, Harley couldn't stand up to Jinx's physical power, superior technology, or overwhelmingly explosive arsenal.
Harley clowned around only to get her belt rung by someone out of her league.
The winner is Jinx.
Okay.
Death Battle is back, and we've launched a brand new membership program for our YouTube channel. By directly
Yes.
supporting our team,
I'm actually a part of that.
emotes, badges, additional content, and more. Click that join button to see.
All right, what's next?
Thanks for watching.
Oh, we're doing this already? Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to make sure that another episode doesn't play. Just turn off the Xbox. Huh. All right. So we're doing Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna already. I would have thought that they would save that for when Doctor Strange comes out. I guess not. All right. I mean, I'm down for that matchup. Two DC characters in a row again. Whatever. I knew it was going to be Zatanna or Zatanna, however it's pronounced. It was obvious. Like once we saw Scarlet Witch in the teaser, we were like, okay. Like, I mean, the other options were like Raven and Jean Grey, and that wasn't. No, it's Zatanna. So that's cool. I'm down for that matchup. I actually have no idea who wins that. I've heard arguments to be made for either of them to win. I'm rooting for Scarlet Witch personally, but I guess we'll see. But all right, as for this fight, this was cool. Definitely not my favorite season premiere with Yoda versus King Mickey, literally right there. Even Dante versus Bayonetta, in my opinion, is a little bit better. But I like they definitely changed things up a little bit. There's no end of analysis stingers, which is a little weird, but whatever. They have the results screen back, which is cool. Ringmaster got a little bit more involvement here, which is nice. I actually like Ringmaster a lot, so I'm fine with this. That fight, that was cool. I love that scene in the mirror maze. That was cool. Because that's exactly what I wanted out of a fight like this. Was for Harley to use her psychologist training to like mess with Jinx's mind. Like that's probably like the one thing I wanted out of this fight. But so by the way, when they were doing the teleportation thing, did they transport to the city that Blake and Mikasa fought in? That looks very familiar. And then there was that other setting. I don't remember what that one was. If that's a reference to something, I don't know. That was neat. There's very little jank in this one too, which is an improvement over the Blender team's last episode. The effects were really nice. The models looked neat. Both voice actors. I didn't even comment on that during like the midway point. When I was collecting my thoughts. But like we got, I think it's Felicia Valenti as Harley and Elsie Lovelock as Jinx. The music for that was really cool. I really want that track to come out. It's not out yet at the time of recording this, which is okay. I didn't even check to see like who the guest vocalist is. I'll do that later. So yeah, overall, I'd say I really enjoyed this episode. it doesn't do a lot for me for the characters. Like I was saying at the beginning, like I still don't like Harley Quinn, and I still am kind of like just waiting on Jinx. But the episode was cool. The fight was really nice. I like the use of the environment. I like the different setting changes. I like the mirror maze scene. That looks perfectly like out of Arcane. Just obviously different 3D style. So yeah, I couldn't read a lot of the black boxes in time, but they mentioned something like Black Canary and Alana Strange having light-based feats, but I think they said like the counter to that is that League characters have light speed attacks as well. So I don't know. I'd have to go back. Obviously, this is all my first watch, of course. I guess I'm not terribly surprised that Jinx won. Thinking about it more and more, I was like, okay, like I could see how Jinx can win this. I even said at the before I started the fight, like I could totally see how Jinx can win this. So yeah, overall, I can't say I have much to talk about. I don't have much to complain about for this episode. And then I'm really looking forward to the next one. That's gonna be a really cool episode. If it's anything, if Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna is anything like Doctor Strange versus Dr. Fate, then oh my gosh, we're in for a treat, because that episode is amazing. So yeah, I got nothing really much more to say on this one. It was cool. It's nice to see League on Death Battle. Do Yang versus Vi now, you cowards. I would rather have Yang versus Vi over Yang versus Bakugo, and I'm sure that's a hot take, but yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. So I don't really have much more to say. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up here. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.